Dude, I just cannot understand people. It's like I'm living in a fucking simulator that filled with real life NPC. Because like when I go outside or when I go to uni, I would take a look and everybody looks the same. They wear the same clothes. They say the same thing. They follow the same soulless trends on YouTube or TikTok. And when you are around this with these people, you cannot have a quality conversation about something deep and meaningful, because every time you open up a conversation that is deep and meaningful, what you will get is, yeah, okay. hmm it's like you're supposed to ask a question back, because people are so afraid to go off the rail nowadays. They always stick to something that are already known, that are popular by the masses, that give them approval and validations. They're afraid to being judged when they do something different. And people nowadays doesn't even know what they want. They just look at people around and they just copy them. And when you are just supposed to say things that make them happy, it's the thing that they are way too familiar with. Because I remember this one time when I hang out with everybody and lots of people would look at my phone with the blue light filter on, and they would say that, why is your phone so yellow? And I was like, it's to protect my eyes. And they were like, yeah. And they would just be so awkward with me, because like people nowadays, even when it's dark outside, they would put their phone on maximum brightness and no blue light filter, and they don't even bother to dim it down. Like, it's just crazy to me. And about the deep and meaningful conversation, I remember around 2 years ago, I used to have these friends that I'm quite close. And at that time, I was going through a psychological change, that, the change in mindset, the change in my habits and behavior. I no longer think like a gamer, the version that I used to, you know, despise. And I want to improve myself. So I look at my friend. We was in a cafe, and I took the chance and I say to him something really deep and meaningful about his life. I told him that you will not make it if you keep living like this, because he was, to be honest, he was living not a great life. He was using the phone all day. He was, kind of, he was really lazy, and his family doesn't feel any connection. And I just want to change him, because I wanted friends that have the same idea and mindset like me. But what he said was that, huh? I'm not ready to change. What do you mean? I want to play video games. I want to do what I want. And yes, you can do anything that you want by all means. I'm not banning you or something, but it feels like they don't even want to take the chance to discuss about it. They just want to avoid it, to just be not being vulnerable. And since that day, I lost a friend. I really did. And like way, way, way before that, I remember one time when I was in my class and I was reading a book about, you know, Papillon, the prisoner that escaped prison 9 times in like 1920 something. And it was a pretty famous book, and I loved reading it. I brought it to class, I opened it, I read it, and everyone just looked at me with, a very judging eyes, and they were just kind of laughing at me a bit. And there was particularly one girl that shows her interest to my book, and she asked me about it. She had a really good conversation with me, but she would also get kind of pushed away soon, not sooner after that, because we are the only two people in that class that are isolated from everyone else, because we have different opinion different hobbies than everybody else, just scrolling on TikTok all day. And it is a really sad and melancholic reality that we are living. And like, I guess that the one and only perpetrator that I blame is social media, and especially TikTok. It has numbed our feelings down to the ground. It make people stop thinking. It make people stop having uniqueness. I mean, everyone does, but it has been suppressed to the point that the world nowadays is filled with NPCs. And I just read a few pages of the book Annie Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, and she basically was a victim in the Hitler's under Hitler's regime. She was Jewish. I don't know if I say it right there. Pardon me if I said something that kind of, because I know that Jews is kind of sounds really offensive, and I should not use that word. Yeah, and she basically mentioned in one of her first few pages that she have like 30 friends, she have loving aunts, she have a loving family and sister, and on the surface she looks perfect. Doesn't miss anything, but the only thing that was missing in her life was a friend that she truly sees as a friend. And when she was surrounded by everyone else, she mentioned that you have to talk about things that are happy and generic. She cannot discuss anything that is deep and close and meaningful. I have no words for it. And she seems to feel really sad, and she decided to be friends with the diary. It's the only friends that she had. She said that sometimes paper have more patience than people, and I can relate to that a lot because when I had, you know, virtually no friends, I would wrote on my diary every day, every single day about life. I want to keep the memories alive and nourish my soul. And you know, she kind of touched me a bit, and that's the reason why I make this video, because I cannot stand a lot of people nowadays, like actually. And for those of you guys who are, I talk about, who are listening to this, I'm not hating on you. I'm not telling you to do anything that you don't want to do. If you're watching this video, please have an open mind about it. Please reflect on it to see whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong. And maybe you can realize something for yourself as well. And I I'm not gonna pretend that I'm different, because I used to chase a lot of trends, and I want to fit in with everybody. But since today I realized that I'm not interested in any of that. I don't want to do what I actually want and enjoy. I don't want to be another NPC. I I don't want to force myself to do anything that I'm not wished to. And yeah, I hope that you guys will take what I said not too seriously. Just seeing it as, because I'm yapping at the end of the day, and what I say might be totally wrong or might be right. I don't really care, man. It's just bothers me a lot about this, and I wish that the uniqueness of people in today's world were being more widely recognized and discussed about. Like, discuss more about the topic that involve thinking deeply. And yeah, I think I said too much now. I want to end this video with a smile. See ya. Yeah, that was kind of weird.